Hiya! Well, first video on my new channel. I am very new to this, so I just have a passion for cars. I'm absolutely awful in front of the camera and doing this sort of thing, but I'm going to try and learn. I'm going to try and build myself up and get a bit more confident in front of the camera and try and get some stuff on Instagram, which I've never ever used before, all because I've got a new idea and enterprise of what I want to do. So basically, my name's Mark Ardron, and I've always just had jobs. I run my own company and stuff like that, but it's just so boring. And I've always had a love for cars. I think about cars 24/7. I'm always on eBay and reading about cars. I'm watching YouTube about cars, and I watch my favourite channels are like they're not the really expensive ones. They're the guys in their backyard just building stuff, and the guys that really do love cars, and they show you the ins and outs of everything. And I thought, do you know what? I'm going to do the same thing, and I really want to change my life. So what I'm doing is I'm basically selling everything I can that won't affect my family, my cars, which are my pride and joy, and I want to make enough money to set up a company that does like basically restorations of classic cars at the same time as turning them into electric vehicles. So the first part of that is to finish my build, which I will show you later on my truck. So my truck, I built it over the last sort of 3 years. I bought it brand new. It's one of my pride and joys. I'm not somebody who's got loads of money or anything like that. I've just literally put money into it as and when I can. I've just bought it off the finance company, like paid the balance that I owed on it. And there's a few little bits that I always wanted to do, but wasn't able to do it, and just never got around to doing it. So I thought, what I'll do before I sell it, I'm going to just add some final touches, bung them on the vehicle, and I'm going to make the vehicle as the best vehicle I can, so that when I sell it, it can make as much money, because all of that money, essentially I've got 2 cars I want to sell. The more money I can get for that truck, the more money I can invest into this new company, because it is not cheap being able to do up one electric vehicle, and that's all I can do to start with. So guys, pleased to meet you all. Hope you start following me on this channel. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please follow me on Instagram. My company's called Mechanical Wonders of Tenterden. My Instagram is Mechanical Wonders. And today, I'm going to basically start to fit a light bar, and follow me on this channel. Thank you. Right, what have we got here then? So, essentially, as he breaks it, unboxing it, I have got a light bar, and I'm going to wire this up to basically become a work light from the back, so that you can either switch it on or I'm going to work it out, but it might just be either a reverse light, so it comes on when we reverse, or it might be that I'll wire it up so you can switch it on as a work light from the rear. So that's this light. And then this one is a light bar, which I've always wanted to put on, but just never really got around to doing it. The vehicle that I'm doing is a Ford Ranger, and essentially what I want to do is kind of get it looking absolutely the nuts, basically. So I bought this light bar. I didn't go for the cheapest one, because I never do. I always try and do things the best I can. So I've got this light bar. It's a curved one, and I was thinking about different ways to mount it. And it comes with, hopefully, like a little mount that goes on the side, but that involves drilling into the cab and which I've built camper vans and stuff, and I've done that, but they're really high up, and they're a bit of a different kettle of fish, really. A self-built camper van doesn't have to look absolutely perfect on the outside, but if you're buying a nice truck, you don't want to have silicon on the top or little grommets and holes coming through the cab. So my idea is that I've bought these magnetic mounts, and I'm going to fit them using these. Hopefully they'll fit to these mounts like that, and hopefully it'll stay on the vehicle. Now obviously I've got to look at the wiring. Now that's fine. When I bought the vehicle, it had a sports bar on the back. It's got a canopy on there now, but the sports bar actually had wiring in it for some work lights and things like that. So what I was going to do is find the original wiring for the work lights, because there's already a button on the dash which is OEM, and I was going to try and connect the light bar to that button, so that it just operates on a switch and you've got it on there. And that will mean that I can run the cable all the way back along the cab of the vehicle, along the roof bars on the top. Try and make it look as neat as I can, and then it will go down at the back of the cab into where the canopy is now. So you won't really see the wires, but it means that I won't be drilling anything into the top of the cab, and I won't be losing that integrity of somebody that owns this in 4 or 5 years starts to get little rust spots where the light bar's attached. So yeah, so we'll get on with that, and I'll try and film me and putting it on there, and we'll see how we get on. So this is the truck. You have to excuse the road noise and my little pooch, Lucy. It's a Ford Ranger 3.2. I bought it brand new 3 years ago. And since I bought it, I've basically changed the grille on it. I added the decals. I originally had Cooper STT Pro, but because I was doing so many motorway miles, I took those off and got the AT3s, which are they're all terrain, but they're not as aggressive as the other ones. I'll try and put a picture on. They looked awesome, the other tyres, but they were just you got a lot of vibration at low speeds. I stuck all the decals on. They're not to everybody's taste. But I like them, and that's all that matters, really, isn't it? Yeah, around the back I've did the headlight, the rear light change. The only problem was that when I was one of the first people to do all of these, this is 2 or 3 years ago, you can get them all over the place now, these lights, but the original ones didn't come with the fog light. So I've done a bit of a bodge job on that, which I'm going to change before I sell it on. So that's a fog light down there. I put a canopy on it. It used to have like great big Ford sign on the back and 4x4 sort of stickers on the sides, and it had a sports bar on it. This is a Wild Track, so but I've done a 2-inch lift on it. I've protected the chassis as soon as I got it. It needs a clean, but you can see it's not like a normal Ford chassis, which is all rusted. And these decals down here, I've actually had the wheels sort of repainted once already, because I took it to a stupidly car wash place and I used a really aggressive acid. But you can see that their hubcaps are really trashed already. So I kind of want to sort those out as well. I've got some of those on order. There's some fog lights at the bottom, but they stopped working, so I've got some more of those on order. The Mustang lights, you probably can't see it, and everybody I've spoken to thinks I'm an idiot, but I fitted these. They work perfectly, but there's a slight sort of discoloration on them. They look a little bit sort of yellowy. So I've decided that I've bought a restoration kit, so I'm going to try and give that a go, and I'll video myself doing that, and hopefully I won't botch it up. What else have I done? So I've got a Ford grill on. Probably standard issue now. I think every man and his dog that's got one of these, that's probably one of the first things that they do. It's a little bit of old news. Put the grills on. Again, not to everybody's taste, but in all honesty, they're not functional. They're only stick on. They look cool in my opinion, but for the next owner, if they don't want them, they can easily just peel them off. And then inside, what have I done? Absolutely nothing, other than stick another Punisher sticker on there, just to be even more silly really. But you know, I keep it nice and clean. It served me well. It's got 30,000 miles on the clock. which isn't too bad. And I was really surprised actually, because what I was going to do was I was going to hand this back to the finance company, because I got it through my business, leased it through my business, but the finance company would have basically given me back about sort of £16,000 on this. When you go on sort of comparison sites, they will offer you sort of, we buy any car, and I know what they're like, trying to knock you down. They'll offer you like a little bit more than that perhaps. But when you go on eBay, they're actually on there for a lot more money. They seem to be pretty desirable, and there's some 2017 ones on there, not modified at all, similar sort of mileage, and they're on for a lot more money. So I'm going to try my luck, because I think, you know, some people will say, oh, it's not that worth that, mate, you know, it's only worth like 18 grand or whatever. But to the right person, I think somebody who's interested in having a modified car that perhaps can't be bothered with, or hasn't got the skills to sort of do it all themselves, and just wants an honest truck that looks, I think, half decent, I think I can get a bit more money for it. So let's see how we get on. I'm gonna do all this up, put the light bar on the top, put that rear light on it, change a few bits. You can follow me as I do it, and then the next step from that is to try and get the best price for it. So I need to think of a strategy for doing that. So anyway, let's see how we get on, guys. Thanks for following this channel or even watching it. As I say, this is my first one, so please don't rip me a new one, because hopefully it will only get better from here. So I'll catch you soon.